Well, many of you know Gregory Mannarino and who this individual really is. He's a YouTube user. He gives a lot of market updates. He's very bullish on precious metals, bearish on currencies, and he keeps telling people to just get out of paper, get out of paper, get out of the equity markets. And we've been hearing this constantly for 2 years. And like I mentioned before, a lot of these people who have their own YouTube channel, have a lot of subscribers, they are very similar to the extent of what Faber and Schiff have been keep preaching and parroting about, which it isn't a whole lot different, as a matter of fact. And I don't even think they're even more or even less a whole lot reliable or trustworthy than CNBC, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Fox Business News, and the list goes on. Now, as for Gregory Mannarino, he seems to be a very nice guy, reasonable. I appreciate to be in a situation where I can hear his views, but the truth of the matter is a lot of his predictions haven't really come out true as well. For about 2 years, you have been bullish on precious metals. And as a matter of fact, precious metals haven't done very well, and it's been 2 years. Now, yes, we've had severe corrections in 2008, but that lasted for about 8 to 9 months. This has lasted for about 20 to 25 months. Yes, for gold and silver. It's been very, very long. Now, you argue, well, back in the 1970s, in 1973 to 1975, we had a pretty good correction in gold. But unlike that time, we were having sort of in a crash-like scenario with other markets as well. We were dipping in the economy. But now it doesn't look like that a lot of other markets are crashing as well. So looking into that, it doesn't look like that this track record of you is looking very bright and so reliable. You keep telling people, get out of paper, get out of paper. It seems like if we stayed in paper, particularly in indices like Dow Jones, Nikkei, Yahoo, companies like, gosh, even Microsoft, the list goes on, we probably would have been better off staying into these equities than actually continuing to hold precious metals. As a matter of fact, the dollar hasn't lost a whole lot of value in the past couple of years. In fact, the dollar index is actually higher than it was 2 years ago. Prices of a lot of consumer goods have barely changed 365 days ago. When you look at gas prices, food prices, I go to the grocery store, I have barely seen a change in food prices, and that is even despite the fact that there was a severe drought in much of the country for about 10 to 15 months ago. So, as far as I can tell you, your track record isn't looking very bright at all. And looking at Trader's Choice, looking at your research, a lot of the stocks that you've told that you were bullish about didn't turn out to be as bullish. You seem to be bullish on SLV, GLD. They didn't look very bright as well. A lot of things that you told to short turn out to be bullish. And as a matter of fact, the ones that you told to short and they actually came out true, as a matter of fact, you tell people that you were right, but you don't tell that you may have been wrong in some cases. I admit, and I apologize to my viewers that I have been wrong and I have been a little bit off, because we make mistakes. We're human beings. But I haven't heard you do that, Gregory Mannarino, and I think you should. And it doesn't look very bright about the fact that you keep hiding facts, covering things up to make yourself look better. So your Trader's Choice analysis, your tips, didn't look as bright as you have told many of your viewers that it should be. Now, on the other thing that I want to look into is your background. Now, I haven't found anything that is very, very controversial, but I have found some things that are quite, in a situation, doesn't look very pretty. I did a Google search about you a while ago. It turns out that it seems like you're sort of a double agent. You're a double person. You seem to be this kind of person when you're on YouTube, but you seem to dwarf, become invisible in a way, into another person in the real world. And when I did a Google search about you, I found some information about you a lot of people don't know that I think I should bring out. I might be wrong, but it may really deliver a lot of truth. And I think a lot of people should know that, because we want to know who you really are. We want to know, do you really have the investments that you keep telling to be bullish about? Do you actually have physical silver? And are you, Mr. Mannarino, along with a lot of other people, Greg Hunter, Duane, SGT Bull, are you guys really licensed stockbrokers? Are you licensed to give financial advice? And even if you're not, do you have wonderful track record to back it up? It doesn't look like it. So, as far as I can tell you, there's a lot of investigation I have found that didn't look very pretty. And I'm sorry if I sound rude, insulting, and I might be giving you a hard time, but I think it's about time that the public really understood what exactly is going on. So, just stay tuned. I'm going to show you my Google search and what I've recently just found out. Alright, let's take a look at his website. As you can see here, it seems quite helpful, but yet again, there's a lot of fishy things that I see. I am just very curious about whether this guy actually holds physical silver. So you can see here, donate. I mean, what is the point of donating? Where does all the funds go? It's the other thing you have to understand. Let's look at equity lists, long and short lists. As you can see here, looking at his track record, it's pretty evident that there's a very good chance this short list is probably going to do a lot better than the long list. As a matter of fact, I admit I was bullish, and I am to a degree, on Yahoo and Cisco. So you can see here that what kind of outcome, what you might get. And my bullishness on Cisco and Yahoo is largely to do on fundamentals and technicals, not because I listen to somebody or I get some information from an analyst. What I do, as a matter of fact, I look at factors such as price-earnings ratio, moving averages, the price, recent price surges, and all that to make sure I know what I'm doing. So this is the thing you have to understand. What I'm curious to know is whether this individual has physical silver. I would like to know if he has any rounds, coins, bullion to show that he is in this silver investing game. Well, I haven't seen anything, so there's something quite fishy about that. And one thing I want to mention is that a lot of people have been blocked from his channel, and not just from him, but even a lot of the people that keep interviewing or has a lot of ties with him, such as Greg Hunter, who runs USAwatchdog. He has been blocking a lot of people. But what I want to know is, there's something fishy I've seen about this, and I do research about people that get a lot of popularity and get a lot of support, and this is what I found fishy about him. So here, Gregory Mannarino, Las Vegas. I just want to know, is he popular in the area? Does he make a difference in his community? And this is what I found out about him. There's one side about him where he's a financial strategist, he's an analyst. And then there's another side of him which he kind of plays this two-sided person where he's in the healthcare industry. So as you can see here, lab draw, physician assistant. This is kind of surprising to know that he didn't even tell us, from what I've heard of, that he's involved in the medical field. So let's take a look. Let me zoom out, or maybe I can zoom in. I'm not exactly sure, but how can I zoom in? Well, I can't for some reason, but let's take a look right here. As you can see, just a lot of interesting things. He is somehow a PA. This seems to be the address. This seems to be the number. So what I want to know is, you don't really tell us about who you really are. And I want to know exactly why. Why do you like to play this invisible game? Because when you give us partial truth, this kind of tells us that you're somebody that we can't count on. And again, I want to say is, I'm sorry if I am rude, insulting, and I'm giving you a hard time, sir, but when I'm looking at all this research, it's not looking very pretty. And I think a lot of you people out there should really do some research, and not just him, Greg Hunter, whether it's Max Keiser, Mike Maloney, David Morgan, Peter Schiff, Chris Duane, all these people. You got to do some research. You got to look at their track record. Some of these people could have criminal records. They could have records of theft, of frauds, of schemes. Maybe they changed their name, maybe they changed their location, but it's very important for a lot of you to think outside the box and don't get so fooled and trapped in what they say, on how they appear, how they communicate, because it can get very deceptive, but on the inside it can be full of toxic. Thank you so much. Please spread this information and have a great day.